because I'm kind of
Good
tired.
evening, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Food Network. If we can get Zen to shut up, we can get started. Good evening, everybody. We're glad you could be with us. As you see, we have a very small cast here this evening. So let me tell you what's going on. Okay, Alicia is in the hospital. She's recovering from her leg infection that she got. Most of you have probably heard about that. She's posted several videos. We know she's watching. We wish her the best. So she's out. Lindsay is out, just off tonight. She's doing her thing. And then we have Christy, who had oral surgery this morning, dental stuff. So she's recovering from that. And then Tina is driving back from California, where she's been on vacation with her husband. And we have Brooke, who is off tonight. She's visiting her sisters and her mother-in-law and stuff in Michigan, so she was not able to work her schedule out to be here tonight. But doesn't matter. We got an amazing show for you guys tonight. Is TREO of Dips, one of the most exciting episodes I think we're going to have this season, because who doesn't like a great dip? Having said that, it's going to be a little bit different tonight, since each of the chefs will be presenting 3 different dips, and we're only have 2 chefs. We're going to rotate every other one. So Michael will present one of his dips, then Zen will present, then Michael, then Zen. They will be judged on each dip for an overall total that will come together for their final score. We'll just have a top chef tonight, no runner-up, because we only have 2 chefs here. And then whoever wins top chef will automatically be entered into the stellar dish drawing. And then I will pick 2 dips tonight that will also, those people will get an entry into the stellar dish. Doesn't matter, they could be one of each. It could be both Zen's or both Michael's. It's just whatever I feel is stellar, okay? Because I am the judge tonight.
Okay, yeah.
It's no majority thing tonight, folks. It's just daddy, but so are you guys excited about the TREO of Dips episode?
I am really excited about it. I mean, I love dips, so, I mean, because I love throwing parties and everything, so I always have lots of dips, and I was able to go out and pull in some of my standbys, and then a couple of just different ones that I've never tried before, so I'm really excited.
Awesome. And Zen, what about you?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited about it. I started making them yesterday and finished it today. So yeah, I'm not a big dip person. I do like it, but I have to stay away from most of them that aren't healthy. So yeah.
So then, every episode we have, you can't eat anything. What can you eat?
Salsa.
A salsa?
25 calories per tablespoon, so that's acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then,
and
salsa gal.
Yeah, and then there's times when I do eat that stuff and I pay for it. So, you know, Michael and I have the opposite issue. And, yeah, we won't talk about that right now. But if we could trade places, you know, I would like to. Even for a month. And just get to feel what that's like. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Michael, you're going to start first tonight, and you're going to present whichever one you want. And then I may have some questions for you. I may have some suggestions, some negative comments, just whatever. Right? So let's just have fun tonight. Okay, what did you bring first, Michael?
Okay. I love this tip. This first one, I originally found it from my wife. Someone at my wife's work has made it, and I've made it several times. And a few other weight loss people on YouTube has their version of it. But the actual name of it is crack dip. It is kind of orangey in color. What it is 2 cans of white chicken meat, or you can use rotisserie chicken. I've used both. Ranch dressing, blue cheese dressing, a block of cream cheese, which I use the higher protein cream cheese. Frank's Red Hot to your taste, and 8 ounces of cheddar cheese, shredded. And what you do, you just mix all those ingredients together, and you stick it in a baking dish, and you bake it for at 350 for about 20 minutes, And this is what it looks like. And I eat mine on just a round chip. You see the chip?
Oh.
Oh no! Did it hit the keyboard?
It hit the keyboard, but I saved it.
Oh,
you know, luckily it's a thick dip, so no mess. I mean, it's really good. And I know, Rob, you don't like a lot of spicy stuff, so you can add the Frank's Red Hot to your taste. I actually used only about a 1/4 cup for a 9x13 pan. Real creamy, very cheesy. You can taste the chicken. I actually used canned chicken this time because I didn't like the way the rotisserie chickens looked in the store this week. You got the chicken and I used about a 1/4 cup of ranch and about a 1/4 cup of the blue cheese. I have used all blue cheese, so you kind of get that hot wing blue cheese dressing. You can also eat it with celery sticks.
Oh yeah.
So you got the healthy, no chips in. You got a celery.
None like celery. I did just to cut it up. That's the way to do it.
So real good. There's different variations of this. I've added fresh onion to it. It's one of those recipes that you can adapt and change it up however you want to your taste.
Michael, how long do you cook that for again?
At 350 for 20 minutes.
350, 20 minutes, okay. And do you put that in, like, how deep of a dish do you put it? Do you put
just
it in?
a regular 9x13 2-inch casserole dish.
Okay. And how many people would you say that'll serve?
Oh, that will serve.
Depends how greedy they are.
Depending on how greedy they are, because it is it's addicting stuff.
Oh, it looks like
about 10.
A 10? Okay.
Yeah, about 10.
I like the idea. I love rotisserie chicken. That's something that I've been buying for a few weeks now on a regular basis and incorporating in. But I debone it and then go ahead and use it for different things throughout the week. One thing that I would probably try in there is just substitute out that meat and put in a mild or I wouldn't do spicy, but I would do a medium sausage crumble. It would be absolutely amazing in that dish too.
That would be absolutely amazing.
That would be so delicious. Have you took that to like barbecues, or what have you taken that to?
I've taken it just to some pool parties, some barbecues. I'm actually going to take this to a memorial service that we're having a potluck at this weekend. It just goes over very well, and there's never any leftovers. I mean, it's always gone, and people are like, "Oh, you should have made 2 pans of it."
Gluttons.
So tonight, just because our format's a little different, I was going to tell you the 2 areas that you scored the highest in tonight was you're following the theme. I mean, obviously that's a dip. Everybody is going to love that dip, and also imagination of taste would be high marked for you. Something that would be low would be probably your presentation, only because you dropped some of the food, but it wasn't marked down a lot, but that's where you would have been a little bit low at that tonight. So I think you did a really good job, and I think that is something that a lot of people would like to eat. I really, really do. Zen, do you have any questions for Michael?
I think it sounds great, Michael. I've had a similar dip without the blue cheese, but it's got the beans mixed in with it, where they mix the chicken, the beans, a salsa type of thing together, giving it a thick, pasty, where you can use it as a spread or on a bread or on a chip. And I think it's always a big hit. And yeah, I like the idea of yours. I wanted to find out, what did you think? Have you ever tried it with bacon?
I actually thought about throwing some bacon in there tonight, but I had never tried it, and I can guarantee you that it would probably be amazing.
Yeah, I think it would be too. And I think it would be good with pineapple too if you didn't have blue cheese in it. Would be pretty good with spicy pineapple, bacon chicken. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The cheese. And the list goes on. You know, you can tell I'm a girl.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, literally, this is one of the recipes that you can, adapt to anything, and because it says such a core base that can just go with so many different things.
absolutely. I think it's a great party starter, should we say?
Mm-hmm.
And people will be hovering around that tray for sure.
Yes, definitely they would. Zen, what about you? What'd you bring for your first one this evening?
Okay, I'll put the hot one up here this evening. I made a artichoke cream cheese yogurt dip, and it is baked in this little casserole dish. I made a larger dish, but I also took a little out and put it in this dish. This is, I made the recipe smaller than it actually is because this stuff is really fattening. Even with the yogurt, it's still fattening. But I decided to make it with the yogurt instead of the mayonnaise because I just thought that I would be more likely to try it and have a lower fat and more protein in it. So it has the 5 cheese from Trader Joe, which is the Italian fried cheese blend. I forget what they call it. They got a name for it anyway. I buy it all the time. And I put in a couple handfuls of that and a half cup of the Greek yogurt. What else did I put in there? Oh, hold on, I wrote it down. 3/4 of a cup of artichoke heart that's chopped. I bought the frozen from Trader Joe, which is different. I usually buy the jar from Costco, but I didn't have didn't have that the frozen ones. And they actually came out really, really good, and they're very easy to thaw. So I also made caramelized green onions, and then the ones on top are the garnish. I caramelized green onion, use 3 onion chopped up, or if you have a bigger batch, of course, you can use 4 or more. 1/3 a package of the low-fat cream cheese. The Neufchâtel is the kind I used. And mix that together with some salt and pepper and a little garlic to taste. Also a dash of Worcestershire sauce and Frank's Red Hot sauce. It does not make it hot. It just gives a little bit of good taste. So I mixed it up, and I would eat that with carrot chips myself, or I have some, what do you call them? Tortilla chips. God, I'm sorry, I told you I'm tired. Tortilla chips, and those would be great too. The flax tortilla chips or just the regular would be delicious. It is creamy. It's not as creamy as the one with the mayonnaise, but it is also very tasty, and it's a great way to cut calories if you're concerned about that at all. People at parties, I don't think they would really notice the difference, especially if you spiced it up a little bit more, adding red pepper or red pepper flake to it. That's my opinion about that. So anyway, I think it was a pretty easy dip, and I also threw some cheese on the top to make it brown, so you can actually see it, and then you can see the pieces of caramelized onion in there. And everyone loves a good artichoke dip. People make artichoke spinach, which is cold dip, or they bake it, the hot dip, but I decided because I eat so much spinach just to go with the plain artichoke, and that's what we got. So I'll taste it for you guys. With the carrot chip, for the record, okay, so you can do it without dropping it. The top layer is a little bit firm, so here is what it looks like. Close up, turn it. There's the carrot chip, and I'm holding the bowl here. It's awesome. The cheese with the Asiago cheese that comes out in the Italian is strong tasting cheese, and it gives it a really good taste. You can also use separately Asiago and a blend of a mozzarella or any other weight cheese provolone grated up together. But I happen to buy the Italian blend cheese, the Trader Joe blend, and a lot of the Italian blend cheeses don't have the Asiago cheese. I couldn't find it grated separately, so that's why I went with the blend. So that's my dish. I'm guessing the calories, I'd say it's probably about 80 to 100 calories because I changed the portion size. Per tablespoon, I wouldn't say you could sit here and eat fistfuls of this unless you were like Michael. Just kidding, Michael. And I'd love for you to try it. It's actually really good, and I think you would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have another bite, sorry.
It definitely looks great, and I think for a lot of people, especially when they look at, when you're at a restaurant maybe and you're looking at appetizer dishes, a lot of people that aren't used to eating artichoke, they always go with, like, say, they'll go more with like a potato skin or mozzarella sticks or stuff. Some people are scared of doing, doing the artichoke heart in a dip. But you guys, you need to try it. It is amazing. It's a great texture to it. It tastes absolutely amazing mixed in with things. And for a long time, I never tried artichoke heart dip because I always just thought, oh, those are gross, you know. So have an open mind when you try that. A lot of times you can get it on menus for around $5. If you end up not liking it, after you take the first sample, you could always send it back and just say, oh, this doesn't taste right. It doesn't taste good. And they'll bring something else out. You know what I'm saying? But I think you'll end up liking it. I think artichoke dip has a bad name a lot of times. I think especially with the younger people, older people are more apt to try those kinds of things. But if you see that on a menu, try it out. It is really good. Zen, I think your dish looks absolutely amazing. The area that you scored high in tonight was your plating. I like the dish that you put it in. I like the extra garnish that you put on the top. Seeing the caramelized onions was really great also. The one thing, probably the lowest, would be creativity. There's not a lot of creativity to, say, a artichoke heart dip, but it wasn't a real low score or anything. It was just, if I had to pick a low area, that's probably where it would have been. But the caramelized onions help bring that up because that is something that a lot of people don't put in an artichoke heart dip. So I think overall it was really, really great. Michael, do you have any questions about her dish?
I don't have any questions, but I would definitely take that dip and I would stuff it in some mushroom caps. That would be so good, or even in a big poblano, portobello mushroom, and broil it. Oh, that'd be
good.
That would be real good.
Yeah. I disagree too, Rob, as far as younger people versus older people and artichoke. I think it's just the way you're brought up and what foods you're exposed to, because my kids have eaten artichokes since they were knee-high to a grasshopper, and artichokes don't have a strange taste. I mean, I guess this might, if you're thinking along the vinegary, type of taste, but artichoke is such a mild-flavored vegetable. It's actually super delicious with the butter and salt. Just the dip, eating a regular artichoke dip is just a very smooth thing. And if people haven't tried artichokes, you sure should. And if you don't like the marinated type stuff, pickles and all that kind of food, you buy the can or frozen, and they are not marinated. So,
cool.
Just wanted to point that out.
Oh, no, you say tomato, I say tomato, right? We're moving on to the next one. Michael, what's your next one?
I brought a creamy peanut butter fruit or vegetable dip. And I did adapt this recipe. I changed it up quite a bit. It has 8 ounces of low-fat sour cream, a half a cup of creamy peanut butter, a 1/4 cup milk, 2 tablespoons of honey, a teaspoon of cinnamon. I added in 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and I added in 1 scoop of a vanilla protein powder to give it more protein. This is, you can see the chia seeds in it. It's real creamy. Not very sweet. You can definitely taste. The peanut butter in it is great. I don't like a lot of powdered protein, and you cannot taste it in this dip at all. So it hides a protein really well. And you got the chia seeds, and I love anything with chia seeds in it. I mean,
Me too.
but real simple and easy. You mix all those ingredients together. You stick it in the fridge for a couple of hours to get it chilled and firmed up. And you can serve it with, I have apples. I also like it with cucumber and celery. So it's another really good dip that goes over real well at parties.
And how many, if you were like measuring it by cups, how many cups would that recipe make?
That made probably about 4 to 5 cups.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So I think on that particular dish, I do like the ingredients, and this is the thing. If you're making that, I think, for a family at home and stuff, I think it would be absolutely an amazing dish, and it is something that I can tell you I would like. My only hesitation with the dish would be, Michael, would be if you took that to, say, like a family reunion or a potluck, I think without people knowing what's in there, I think a lot of people may pass that by because there's a lot of ingredients in there. And a lot of times at potluck, you can't take like a chip or a piece of apple and dip it in there and then try it and then say, oh, I do like it. I mean, some people probably do that, but that wouldn't be something that would have very much etiquette to do that at a buffet line or like if it's out on a display table or at a potluck or whatever. So
Well,
go ahead.
Something you can do, you can take your celery sticks and fill it in there and lay them out, and they can grab one.
Sure. So I think for tonight, I think you're on that particular dish, I like the creativity of it, that you changed it up and you added different things that would taste good on a piece of fruit or on a vegetable, because a lot of time dips like that, most people would only dip fruit in those, a lot of times. A lot of people would use that to dip fruit inside of. I'm not saying they can't use vegetables, but a lot of people probably would choose to use fruit in there instead. I rated you high on creativity, and for the low category for you tonight on that particular item, I'm going to say it's probably imagination of taste. Because I think if a person didn't know what was in there, I don't think it would be super appealing to them, and I don't think they could tell everything that was in there. So I think it's things people say, oh, I'm not sure about that, but this, I know what it is, I'll take some of this. You know, some people may take a little bit and try it, and that's what people should do. If they're not sure, just take a little bit to try it, and if you like it, go back and get more, and if you don't, then it's not very much wasted. But
I totally agree with you.
Yep, and I love your plating on that. I like the dish that it was in, and I like the time that you took to put that particular dip together. Zen, do you have any comments or anything for Michael on that?
Yeah, Michael, that's something I would never have thought to combine. Is you said sour cream with peanut butter?
Yes.
I just really can't fathom what that would taste like, to tell you the truth.
It's just real creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, it's real creamy. You can't taste the sour cream in it at all. You can substitute that for Greek yogurt also, and it's just makes it more creamy and smooth. I mean, the peanut butter overwhelms all the flavor in it.
Okay. No, so it'd be like a cold peanut dip, basically.
Yes, it's cold.
You know, and that just like spreads the peanut farther, right? Basically, that's that part. Oh, it sounds good. I think I would like that on celery for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because I like peanut butter a lot on celery, and that's something I can have like once a week. So that's exciting. And it is something I would try for sure. Just when you just hear the two ingredients, like Rob said, it kind of like sets you back and go, what? You know, you got to think about it, and you got to be open-minded in these challenges, because certain things come together work better than others, and that sounds good to me. I think I would like to try it.
Yep, it looked good. It looked good, Michael. For me, but I also know what's in it because you told me. So I would definitely try it if I was at an event and saw it on a table. I might pass it by for something else that I know, but then that would be my loss because obviously it tastes amazing. So, Zen, what did you bring for your second dip?
Okay, for my second dish, I brought this cute little dish, and because the rules were changed in the game, I can only show you one of the sections here. I have something else. I made two different things in here, and this is a chili bean dip on this side, the smooth. I don't know if you can see it underneath the garnish. And on this side is a black bean dip that is not ground. You know what I mean? They're whole bean. So on the top is heirloom tomato, and that's also mixed in with cilantro in this one, and garlic, onion. So that is a really basic, plain, straightforward sauce dip, with the creamy one on the other side, which has got in that is hold on, let me check my list. Cumin, lemon. Oh, there's a little cheese in there, red pepper blended together, garlic and tomato blended in together to give it a smooth texture. And then I thought it was kind of fun to have the whole bean one on the other side because that one has more cilantro in it. So it gives it a different flavor, so you can dip down into it. It's sort of like a layered effect, only I didn't actually layer it except on the top. And so here I have with it red pepper strips to serve it with, so I'm going to taste it here for you. It was very easy to cook. I just cooked it over, I pureed it in the food processor, my Ninja, and then I heated the cheese up, and mixed it in with it. It's good. It also has a little pepper in it, not real hot. You could make it or not as you like. And I think the heirloom tomatoes with the black bean side or layer is a really nice topping because it's multiple colors of tomatoes, and it tastes so good with the fresh cilantro, onion, and garlic. I like basic dips pretty much, and I try to keep it on the lower calorie side for all of us party goers so that we can have a little more of some things than others, and then just still allow ourselves to move around the table and get whatever we like. The other thing, again, is this would be great with a carrot chip dip, and I'm going to try to get this on one side with a piece of tomato, although I'm not so sure I'm going to be successful. And here's this one. It's just a piece of tomato. Oh, it's actually really awesome and very tasty. There it is. Nobody can see it.
Yeah, oops, it's dripping.
Oh, see, that's not a good thing. Yeah, that is not a good thing.
It happens.
It happens, right?
Yeah, this is a company computer. My other one's upstairs.
You got you some lunch for at work.
Okay, so on that particular dish, I like especially the plating of it, and your presentation was really good. I do personally think, and you'll probably disagree, and that's fine, I think that would be, if it was at a potluck or out, I think it'd be a messy dish split in half like that. I think a lot of people would go for the side that's more creamy, and other than the bulk side. And I think at the end, it would just be something, the bean one, especially the whole bean one, would be something that would be hard to eat on top of something. But that's just my opinion, and it doesn't make it right. I think it looks good. I think it looks like it tastes absolutely amazing. I would probably want to try, I'd probably want to try the more creamy one on some form of like a toasted little bread or a cracker or something like that. To see how it would taste on something like that. I think the strong point on this one was definitely your plating and presentation. I like the fact that you did break it in half and put two things in there. I just think in the end it would just be messy when people start taking portions of it out. And then low for me would probably be the imagination of taste, because I do think that those two things would get mixed together as people start to take things out.
Okay.
I would disagree with Rob. I mean, yeah, it might be a little messy, but I would dip right there in the middle and get some of both of it and actually mix it all together. I bet that would be really good mixed together and eaten as one dip,
Yeah,
as like a layered dip. And that would be really good on some like really fresh, corn chips, like some Tostitos or something. And just I can almost taste it in my mouth now just thinking about it. I mean, it really does sound delicious to me. So
yeah, it is actually.
I have to disagree with Rob tonight.
Yeah, it would be. It's actually excellent on eggs, either or both. Just taking a spoon in there and slapping it on your eggs is amazing. Both the huevos rancheros for the smooth dip type cheese. Bean thing, and then the whole bean, the heirloom tomato, cilantro, garlic, onion is so amazing on eggs with sriracha on top, and of course spinach underneath and a little more cheese. I like to layer my food. Even though it's small, it gets layered, and it's just a fun way to eat stuff, and it just brings new tastes in and allows you to get a little fiber in your diet. For those of you who are lacking in fiber, these beans will help.
All righty. Michael, let's move on to our third dip.
My third dip, I actually reached out to a fellow Facebook friend, YouTube guy, and got this recipe. This is a mushroom dip. Here it is. It actually has 5 small cans of mushrooms. It called for 1 cup of mayonnaise, a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 2 cups cheddar cheese, 1 pack Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. You mix all that you drain the mushrooms real good. I actually drain them and then put them in a towel and kind of squeeze some more of the moisture out. And then you mix all those ingredients together, and you bake it in a glass dish at 350 for about 20 minutes. I think I used a wrong size glass dish, so I had to bake it for about 35 minutes to get it all, creamy and goodness. But it's so meaty and delicious. Let me get some here. I mean, it's got the big mushrooms. It's just delicious, and I have to give props to Dennis Vinay for sending me this recipe. If you like mushrooms, this is a killer dish right here.
Amazing.
So it's meatless, right? There's no meat in there.
No meat, just mushrooms.
Right.
But you could. Let's go ahead and say it. You could add some bacon to that right there.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
Or some sausage would be good in there.
I knew Rob was going to say sausage.
Sausage, bacon would just bring that dish through the roof.
And
I think the bacon.
For people that like it too, either a black olive or even a green olive, I think, would taste good in there. As long as you didn't overdo it with the green olive. They can
yes.
And some red pepper. Red pepper. Bacon would be awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it's real meaty and just thick. And thick and meaty is the best. You got to agree, Rob.
Sounds amazing.
Thick and meaty. I mean, it's just.
That's it, Michael. That sounds like one I definitely want the recipe to.
I'll send it to you. I got it right here.
Okay, good.
So on that one, Michael, I'm going to score you high on following the theme. I mean, obviously it followed the theme. Also, I like the plating of it. I like the way that it looks. I like dips that are cooked in general. I think most people do. I think they have that extra draw to them because most dips that are cooked obviously have some form of a cheese in it. And most people love some cheesy dip. I ain't even gonna lie. Say something, Michael.
I mean, this is, I mean, it's so, the mushrooms in it are just, I mean, I love mushrooms. I mean, I just got to say, I mean, and it's just very cheesy and, I could eat this all day long.
Yeah, it does look good. I like mushrooms. I don't like portobello mushrooms. I have tried a stuffed portobello, and it's a texture issue with me. I cannot eat it.
This here was just the small cans you get in the grocery store.
Right.
I actually used the stems and pieces cans because they were cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean,
that looked
probably actually use some fresh mushrooms in there too. I mean, oh, it was good.
Also, scoring high would be a scoring high would be imagination of taste. And if I had to pick one thing put you as maybe a lower on, which was hard for me in this one because there wasn't. But out of the numbers that we're allowed to give, I'm just going to say creativity. You know, because if I'm picking something, I got to pick something, and you scored really good on that dish overall. So,
and again, it was actually good with the celery too.
Was it? Now, what are you putting it on? Are you putting it on a cracker?
I put it on. I've been eating on this all weekend. I mean, it's that good. I actually made it Friday night, and I've been eating on it all weekend. I've eaten it on some Ritz crackers. I've eaten it on some Melva toast. I've eaten on it with some tortilla chips, and now with the celery. Oh my God!
Looks good.
It made a big pan.
What do you think about that?
What do I think about it? It looks good. It looks great. I'd like to try it. I'd like to try it on some garlic bread. Just
yeah.
You know, Michael, you want some nice buttery, heavenly, heavy garlic, and slap that on top, and that would be like a mushroom sandwich, open face.
Well, I was just thinking, you know, that garlic bread that you brought on the show where you cross cut it and you had the cheese all down in it. Imagine just putting that down inside the garlic bread like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Or having a fondue that you dip cheese and then the mushroom dip on top of that.
Oh yeah.
Or a hollowed out piece of bread, Michael, with the mushroom dip down in the middle.
And then you use the little cubes of bread and just dip it out. Oh my God.
Get those long-ass forks, you know, and poke them down. Oh, don't get me started. I'm a fondue addict, okay? We should have a fondue war.
It does look really, really good.
And again, I got to thank Dennis Finet for sharing that recipe with me.
Dennis, that is a good recipe. So then, your final dip that you brought tonight, what did you bring?
I brought salsa. I'm a big salsa lover, and I'm going to put a napkin down here. Just saying. On the keyboard. Okay, this is the salsa. This is a homemade a red salsa made. Oops, there it goes. See, tomato. Just trying to get the right angle. I could tip the computer over there. See, I could tilt the screen down. That's the way to go. I don't have to do anything. And there I have the little dish of it, and basically this is made with the yellow tomatoes, red tomatoes, cilantro, onion, garlic. It's pretty traditional. I do make a blackened salsa, but I did blacken it. It's not overly hot. It does have some serrano pepper, so it's nice and spicy, but it's not going to set you on fire. You can eat this with your carrot chip, celeries, or you can have regular traditional chips. You can put it on nachos. You can put it on anything. Put it on a baked potato. Put it on a salad. You know, so with everything, and this is just to show that it's a very simplistic recipe, standard salsa, and of course you make it to your taste by adding the different things you like. You know, you can add olives if you want more salt, Kalamata olives, regular olives, black olives. I almost made a tapenade, but I decided that that would just be over the top sodium-wise, and that I would be tempted to eat tablespoon after tablespoon of it, so I refrained and made this simple salsa. bringing myself back to earth because I am on a plan and I'm trying to take one step forward, not one step backward at this time. So therefore, it's my reasoning, show or no show, win or no win. That's the way I had to roll this time. So I hope you guys will enjoy my salsa. I put a little lemon there, a little garnish to make it extra special. It is very tasty, and I think that using the different types of tomatoes together that are fresh are also very, very good and much better than your typical like canned or jar salsa. I didn't add anything sweet to it. I do have mangoes, I have pineapples, but I just thought, let me just go with the basic because a savory is, I just like the savory personally better, on a everyday basis.
Well, I think that it looks, really good, and I like, excuse me, that you didn't put anything sweet in it. Because I generally, and everybody's different, but I'm just saying from my point of view, I don't like salsas that are sweet. I like to have them on meat, I like to have them on tortilla chips, and I don't want that sweet taste. If I want my meal to be sweet, then I'll get a dessert. That's always been my way of thinking. Like, I won't eat pizza with pineapple on it. I don't like that kind of a thing. So I'm glad that you didn't. I love a homemade salsa that is absolutely amazing. I have a gal that I used to work with that would make a salsa, and her secret ingredient, which tastes amazing in there, was oregano. It was so good, you guys. I cannot even explain to you the difference that it made the salsa taste. I like your plating that you did. I rated you very high on that because I think you did a really good job and went the extra step decorating it up. If I had to pick a low category, which is hard because like with Michael's last one, you were scored pretty high in everything. I'm just going to say that it would be creativity because the salsa is a salsa and there was nothing per se special about it, but I think it looks absolutely great and it's definitely something that I would love to sit at a table and eat that chips and salsa. It's good. Looks great.
Thank you.
I think it looks amazing. I mean, if I could change one thing to it or add something to it, I would add some fire roasted corn.
Mm-hmm.
Would be really good in that. And then, I mean, I can tear up some salsa.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Me too. I've only recently started adding corn to things because corn is a starch and therefore a no-no in my
you wouldn't
big
really,
picture.
I mean, you really wouldn't have to add much to that. I mean, but
no, I know. For color, it is good.
A pop of color and a little bit of a crunch from the whole corn kernels and with the little blackened from the being.
Oh yeah, it looks
roast.
Good.
Yeah,
and you can buy the fire roasted corn frozen too.
Yes,
I think Trader Joe's has it, and it's actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm getting away from my corn paranoia, and I'm having a little bit more in my foods, for color, mixing it up a little bit, deciding that I can't live in the convent much, forever. The convent of weight loss surgery. It's true though. Sometimes you just have to let yourself crack the door open and say, maybe this isn't going to nail you, so
right.
That's just how I've been. Sorry about the dog bed.
Oh, that's okay. Well, obviously, you guys, we're going to have a little bit of extra time tonight. So when we're done, maybe we'll talk about that real quick, what Zen just talked about, opening up the door. When do we keep it closed? When do we move forward? And just, you know what, you guys, I am not able to see comments at all this evening, so I don't know what the viewers are weighing in and saying, but know this, we appreciate that you're watching, and we're thankful for that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I already have everything calculated, you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and let people know who our top chef was, and then I'm going to let you guys know what dishes I selected as a stellar dish. Okay? So tonight it was so close, you guys. There was 1 point difference.
Oh my God.
Okay? One of you had 100, and one of you had 99. Okay? So tonight's top chef is Michael. Michael, congratulations.
Thank you.
And for the stellar dishes that I selected tonight, Michael automatically gets an entry because he won. And then I selected Zen's baked dip. I think the artichoke dip. I think it looks absolutely amazing. You can make it healthy. healthier, and you can make it also just the regular way. You could add things you wanted to it or take it away. Overall, I think artichoke heart dip is an amazing dip, and I think a lot of people stray away from it because of the name. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I still think there's a lot of people that will go for other things on an appetizer menu other than artichoke heart dip because of the name of it. And they see that. I think a lot of people also think there's a lot of work to preparing it if you buy them whole at the store because of the look of them and things. And, you know, you have to try it in order not to like it. I went several years not trying it. Now I love it. So congratulations on that, Zen. That is an amazing dip. The other one that I picked was Michael's crack dip tonight. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I would be switching out that chicken with some crumbled sausage browned up. I ain't even going to lie. But I think it looks absolutely amazing. I think it would be good on crackers, chips, vegetables, things like that. So I think you could use it any way that you wanted to, and so on and so forth. Some people might just eat it with a spoon right out of the bowl, right?
I have done that.
I'd have to put it on something. I ain't even gonna lie, because if I was eating it out of the bowl, I'd consume way too much of it. So that's where we came in tonight, you guys. So you guys brought amazing dips and dishes, and they all look good and tasted seemed like they would taste good. So I didn't get to try them, of course, but we hope we have a lot more people back next week. Since we do have some time left, we don't have to dwell on it, but let's talk about real quick what Zen had brought up about when do we open that door or when do we close that door, when do we pull back on it. So Zen, since it was really a conversation that you started and brought up, why don't you just weigh in a little bit and share your thoughts and feelings on that and what you've had to do with your journey. Let's try to keep it short, and then we'll kind of just throw this around for 10, 15 minutes and talk about it, because I think this is something that a lot of people in the community do struggle with. Zen?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The reason because for my journey, for a lot of it, I've been pretty rigid with myself, and because I realized the type of personality that I am, I have kind of an addictive personality in some things, and things that I know that are not going to take me one step closer to where I want to be. I've tried to keep the door pretty closed on most of those things, and have a very limited mission. When I say limited moderation, meaning to step outside that box, like to have that piece of gluten-free birthday cake on my birthday, and stuff like that. I do slip and fall sometimes and end up having a half a muffin or a this or that here and there, but for the most part, I've just found it easier for myself to keep the door fairly closed, and for me it works. I've never gotten to my goal, and that has been a driving force for me to continue that philosophy, because as I noticed that as I let more things, eat peanut butter or high carb things in too often, then I will see a little regain. I'll watch that scale start to go up, and for me that scares the hell out of me, and that's me. I think there are a lot of people in my situation, especially women, over 40. Funny thing about that. But not everybody. And so everybody has to find their way. I was never, addicted to, what do you want to say? I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Anyway, I was never addicted to a lot of different things per se, but there are a lot of things that have a major draw for me. Sweets, certain sweet carbs. They have a major draw for me. Did I have an addiction? No, but if it's right there in front of me, can I stop myself every time? Not necessarily. I might end up having one. I wouldn't have the whole tray full. But somebody one, like I said in the past, will derail me as far as my loss. So that's my thought about it. Like I said, the convent door is creaking open on certain other things and grabbing a little of this and that to incorporate it in. But I'm living every day. You guys, I'm 3.5 years out. I know this isn't so short, Rob, but
that's okay.
I'm feeling like, I have to live a normal life, and I can just try to tweak my eating habits to try to drive my weight downward farther by, perhaps eliminating the peanut butter on the once a week or too much fruit, and just try to see where it goes. I really don't know the answer, but I know for me that not overindulging in things that I know are bad has been what has kept me from skyrocketing back up to my original starting point. And that's the bottom line, is knowing when to put your shots full downhill. You know what I mean? If you eat something one day or whatever, you slap yourself, okay, you did it, get back up the next day and back on point. So that's what I do. I protein for dinner. Now I'm having this dip on the side. That stuff's real high fat. You know what I mean? Even though it's reduced, it's still high fat.
Yeah.
High fat is high calorie,
And this may be a topic that's good for, a show sometime to even talk about, because my curiosity leads me to believe, especially for people who haven't been overweight their whole life, the body obviously changes some way, and we're going to come to you, Michael. The body obviously changes some way, but unless there's people that are willing to, and this is my line of thinking, unless you're willing to omit certain things from your dietary intake for a lifetime, I wonder, by not eating those foods, are you doing yourself a disservice, and then you see a huge gain when you're done? Because if you used to be able to eat a lot of certain foods, and then now that you're older, or whatever the case might be, because not everybody's older that has a weight problem, they've never had one before and then they have one, sometimes I think people can go to very drastic measures to lose weight and get it gone. And I think when you take those measures over time, it can change your body makeup. And then you do, like you're saying, then you have just a little bit of this and you'll see a gain. So I'm wondering if there's steps we can take with maybe not going so drastic as we become overweight to make sure that we're not doing things that may be changing how our body's going to react long term. I'm not a doctor. I don't know that. It's just something that's always fascinated me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't understand.
And I think
Go ahead, Zen.
I was going to say, maybe going back to yo-yo dieting prior to, being young. And even though I wasn't overweight, I yo-yo dieted all the time because I wanted to go down 10, go down 10, go down 10 to look skinny. And I think that also hurts your metabolism in the long run as you get older.
Absolutely.
Have children, if you're a woman. Having children blows your metabolism up for most people. It blows it up.
Yeah.
It messes you up big time. Now, there's always those ones that can have their kid and drop the weight, boom, but those aren't the ones we're talking about here. They're not the ones with the weight issue.
Right.
And having kids also, jacks that metabolism up. So I guess if you've done both in your lifetime, yo-yo dieting and had kids, you're totally hosed.
Well, I think just dieting. I think what I call drastic dieting measures, whether it's yo-yo, whether you're doing a starvation diet, just a liquid diet. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't know, but I can't believe that does not have an effect on your body. I cannot tell you how many people have got the injections to lose weight, and they're on a 500-calorie diet. Well, unless you're going to eat 500 calories the rest of your life, it's not going to work, folks, because every one of those people that I know that have done that put all their weight back on and more. It does something to you. We have to put in the time. We have to put in the hard work. We have to put in the dedication. And you know what? I see people at the store, and they're picking up containers of yogurt, and they're looking at them and saying, okay, now if you're addicted to yogurt, this might be a problem, right? If you're sitting there, but if I see one that's 100 calories or one that's 150, I'm not going to buy the one that's for 100 just because it's less calories. And the reason is simply because of this. At the end of the day, I didn't get to 322 pounds, people, from eating too much yogurt. Okay, let's keep it real. So if you have a problem where you eat 2 gallons of yogurt a day, then that's where you need to be careful with the yogurt you're picking. But when you're sitting there and you're scrutinizing every little thing on it, You're not helping change your mind to change your life. You're going from one obsession of being addicted to food to another obsession that's going to leave you just as unhappy when you get to your goal weight. And I know there's people that will disagree with me, and that's fine. You can. I've lived it. I've been bulimic, and I've been morbidly obese or overweight. I know what both sides are, okay? So I'm just speaking from experience, but I will tell you this. I sat in a class one time where they were talking about soups, and it was if you ate a half a can, it was 0 points, and if you ate a whole can, it was 1 point. This was a Weight Watcher class. So the class is going on, wasting time talking about this thing. Well, if I eat half of the can and then go back an hour later and eat the other half, then I don't have to claim the point, right? And finally, the instructor said, okay, you guys, let's get real. None of us came to Weight Watchers because we ate too much soup. Okay? You have to target, you really honestly have to target what your things are. Like, Zen brought up a good point. I don't bring desserts and things into my house because I know I will continue to eat them. But when I go out with friends or I go out for a meal, if I want to get a dessert, that's when I'm going to get one. Because you know what? It's moderation both in the amount that I choose to eat at when I'm there or order. And it's also moderation in how often I'm doing it. If I'm only having it once in a while when I go out, I don't have to worry about it. And there's nothing wrong with having those things. And for me, it was very hard to get used to not feeling guilty for eating certain things, because if you have a sense of feeling guilty when you eat things, you really need to start working on the mental game again. Because if you binge, I can see where you would feel guilty. But if you eat a little of this or a little of that and you're feeling guilty, work on your mental game, because you're nowhere near where you need to be, and you're going to end up right back in the same boat down the road, or you're going to be constantly working on it your whole life. And that's, we all want to get to a place where we can learn to maintain a weight and fluctuate here and there, 5-7 pounds or whatever, 3 to 7 pounds. And, if we gain, then we bring it down, and then we loosen the reins. Everybody kind of wants to be what we call normal, I would assume. So mental game is what a lot of people avoid a lot of the time on this journey. It's all about getting the weight off because you think it's going to fix everything that's wrong in your life, and it absolutely doesn't. Michael, let's hear from you, and we'll get everybody to give a closing statement, and we'll sign off.
Okay. Yeah, my thoughts on that. I'm 2.5 years out, and as most of y'all know, I'm about 23 pounds under my original goal weight of 200 pounds, and about 10 pounds from where I want to be. 10 pounds lighter from where I really would like to be. And I never held my door closed at all. I would close it and open it and keep my body guessing on what it was going to do. And I think that spiked my metabolism to help me lose more weight in the long run, because my body never knew what I was going to do. Was I going to have a high carb day? Was I going to have, junk food one day or healthy food? I mean, and it was all in moderation. I mean, I don't go and eat, a half gallon of ice cream anymore. I actually had a pint of ice cream sitting in my freezer that I ate on for 6 months, a pint. I mean, I always kept my body guessing on what it was going to do. I mean, I didn't have the weight loss surgery to never be able to have pasta again or never be able to have sweets again. I did it so I could learn moderation, and that's something that I had learned from watching a lot of Rob's videos back a couple of years ago. Because he preached moderation, keep everything in moderation, and moderation is key to anything. I mean, it's like, just for an example, my daughter wanted to go somewhere today, and her friend was begging me to go, and I was like, well, bring me some cupcakes. So she brought over a dozen cupcakes last night, and I let my daughter go with her, right? I have a dozen cupcakes in my house. Back in the day, I would have ate them all between last night and today. I had a half of one, and I was satisfied. I mean, and, I can have it in my house because I have kids, and I don't want to deprive them from anything. So I have learned a lot of self-control and moderation, so I can have it in the house, and it's like, when I get off here tonight, I might go have another half a cupcake, but it's only a half a cupcake. It's not a half a dozen.
Right.
I mean, moderation has always been one of my weak points until I had weight loss surgery, and that has helped me learn moderation because of how much I could actually consume.
Right.
And then, I just kept shocking my system, and my body never knew from one day to the next what was going on. And I think that really kept my metabolism going, and I never got in that rut of, no carb, no carb, no carb, where I have seen with a lot of people doing Atkins and weight loss and all that, where they didn't have carbs and their body kind of stalled out. I mean, I really think that, just from my personal opinion, you need carbs to lose weight. I mean, especially if you're working out in the gym, you need carbs to build muscle. You need carbs and protein. I mean, it's just something that you just got to find your balance. So that's just my opinion, and that's what I did. And and technically, I'm actually 10 pounds lighter than I really want to be, and I'm trying to gain weight, and I'm not really having any luck with it. I know, Zen. Throwing stuff at me again.
That ain't fair.
Michael, I think you bring up an interesting point, and I think that everybody's body is different and everybody's challenge and journey is different. But I think there's something to be said definitely about moderation. And also I think mixing things up, that's something that I did religiously back when I was really focused when I joined in 2012, and in that 10 months lost that 92 pounds. I mixed things up. I kept things in my diet because my biggest fear was that if I cut stuff out of my diet and I lost all the weight, and then I got to that goal and I tried to eat those foods, it was constantly going to be a battle gaining weight, eating the foods that I like. So one of my promises to myself was, I'm going to eat the things that I like. I really have to learn moderation, though, because moderation was one of the main keys that I was missing on my teaching. I didn't know what moderation was. I was a binge eater. I was an overeater big time, and I constantly did it. But like I said, one of my biggest fears was that if I cut this stuff out and I just eat chicken and broccoli and chicken and broccoli and chicken and broccoli, when I get to my goal, my body's going to look good. But then when I try to eat these foods, I'm going to pack on a bunch of weight and I'm not going to be able to eat them. I figure that if I eat these things during my journey and use moderation, I can enjoy them the whole time. And still, when I get to my goal weight or my maintenance weight, I'll still be able to enjoy those and moderate the scale and say, okay, you're up a couple pounds, Rob, pull back in the reins for a couple days, but not eliminating it from my system. That's always been my biggest fear, and that's what I've really tried not to do. Now, hence having a regain, I obviously didn't change my mind, and I did learn moderation as well as I should have. But I've been working this past week. I'm in my first week, I don't want to say a reboot, but really focusing, and I lost 5.2 pounds. So I'm headed in the right direction. I ate out twice. I ate things that I like. I ate in moderation. And, people can say, well, if you wouldn't have ate out, maybe you would have lost a little bit more weight. Maybe I would have, but I wouldn't have had as good a time. And I can't go my whole time trying to get to this place, not eating out and not eating things I like, worried about, is it going to take me longer? Because when I get there and I decide to start implementing these things back into my system, I'm going to really be screwed, because then I'm going to be gaining weight left and right.
And like another thing that I have a problem with is, if I deprive myself of something long enough, I'm eventually going to cave and then I'm going to binge on it.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I can't have no cookies. I can't have no cookies. No, I'm not going to eat those cookies. But when I cave and I go and have that cookie, I'm not going to eat just one. I'm going to eat the whole package.
Wow.
Even with weight loss surgery, I can eat a whole package of cookies within a day.
Then, just real quick, you say you wouldn't do that, but when you make desserts, you rush them out of your house. If you don't do that, then why do you have to get them out of the house? Because you've said that several times. You've said, oh, I got to get this out of the house. The show's over.
Meaning, let me clarify for you, Rob. When Michael said that he would binge and eat the whole thing, when I say not me, if I would have them, I think I would probably have 2 or 3.
Okay.
I wouldn't go the whole way and have all of them. I wouldn't really need to. I think that my binge for me would be like 2 or 3.
Well,
That is like way over the line for me. So, and I know that you guys have different philosophy than me, because I know that there's never going to be a time where I'm going to be implementing a lot of these things back in my life, for the most part, because it's just not part of the cards that I've been dealt. I am not going to ever be able to really implement them back in my life. Can I eat out? Yes.
Right.
Can I have a little of this or that here or there? Yes. Some here and have 1 or 2, even 3, and then get rid of them and be okay? Probably so. But I mean, can I keep that, you know what I mean? Can I change back to something that I'm thinking that I starve, get to goal, and all of a sudden now I can change back? Never. Never. It's never going to happen for me, and I know that. It was part of my commitment to myself, making the decision, I am going to change my life, whatever it takes, and I already can see what it takes, because I know it doesn't work. I step over the line, bam, scale goes up. Oh,
right. And that's, you bring up a good point. That's what we got to do. We got to find out what works for us, because obviously there's something with your system that will not allow you to eat those kind of foods without seeing a major gain. Now, whether that happened just a natural process, whether it happened, like you said, from your yo-yo dieting, or whatever the case might be, that's the cards that you have in your hand, and you are doing a good job working with them. Michael's not in that position, and from what I can tell, I thankfully feel like I'm not in that position yet, and so for me, I have to keep those things in my diet, because the last thing I want to do is end up to a point where I can't have the things that I like. Now, will I have to use moderation? I think being an addict and a binge eater, I will always have to use moderation. So I think you're right. I agree with you on that. Everybody has to really look at what the issue is. And sometimes we don't have the answers. We don't know why our body does what it does. And we don't have the answers. And we just got to keep trying different things.
Yeah. I would agree. And I'm so thankful for you and Michael that you're able to do those and have more things. But I know that there's lots of different, bodies out here and metabolism. And everybody's different, and somebody says, "Oh, well, I drink soda every day." Well, that might not be so bad for them. But if it was me, just that sugar alone would I'm sure I would see a gain, and then another gain, and another gain, and another gain as time went on, and it would creep slowly back on, even if it didn't give me the Chinese food effect, I call it. Where you eat one meal and you're 6 pounds up, which really isn't fat; it's salt.
Right.
But, the sugar, it's more of an insidious. And so that's the thing. And for me, I also notice that if I start my day with a carb, for instance, everyone says oatmeal's so great. Okay, it is. It is great. It's good. But when I have a carb at the beginning of the day, I crave carbs the entire day. I want the oatmeal, then I want a sweet yogurt, and I want to put sweet fruit in it, and then I want something else sweet, and then I'm going to have tofu with sugary syrup. I'm going to spend the whole day seeking sweets. That is not a good thing. So I have to kind of try to slip the fake sugary thing in midday. It doesn't hit me the same, you know what I mean? But when I start the day with it, it's just like, oh, Lord. You did it again. And even my Fitness Pal or whatever this thing, Lose It, it told me the same thing. When you eat eggs in the morning, we notice you eat 200 calories less per day. I'm like, duh. I could have told it that. I don't know if it's the same for everybody. It isn't, but
No, it's not. I mean, not everyone's journey is the same. Not everybody's body is the same. And we don't all react the same way to all the same foods. And that's because we are unique individuals and human beings, and everyone is different. So I mean, and I've learned a lot from you and from Rob and Alicia and Christy. I mean, just everyone, and has incorporated everyone's mindset into my journey. And I think that is what has got me to where I'm at today.
One thing I'll bring up too that kind of backs what Zen said a little bit is I think she mentioned about eating the carbs and starting the day with carbs. For me in general, once, if I, like on a Saturday and a Sunday, I have to be very careful and I have to be more mindful of what's going on, because once I eat a meal, whether it's eggs and bacon and a piece of toast or just eggs and bacon, or even if I sat down and had oatmeal, like Zen said, the door is open. And I'm going to start being hungry. That's where we see everybody is so different, because it doesn't matter if I eat a hard-boiled egg and an apple, or if I eat 2 eggs sunny side up and 2 pieces of bacon. Once I open the door to eating a meal, my door is open for the day, and I start thinking about food. But that comes because I'm an addict. I'm a binge eater, I'm an addict, and I haven't had a binge in almost 2 years, and I'm very grateful for that. But that goes to show you it's different for everybody. So for Zen, a carb in the morning will get her going, whereas just a general breakfast will get me going. Now, if I have a shake, because I have a protein shake in the morning on the way to work, that tides me over until about 9:30, when I usually have some fruits and veggies. And if I had all fruit, I would probably start to crave sugar. But for me, having the vegetables mixed with the fruit and eating at the same time, it balances it out for me. And it gets me by until I have a yogurt like an hour and a half later, and then maybe an hour later a little bit of cottage cheese, and then come home and have lunch. But for me, once I have a big meal, the door is open. Now, the protein shake in the morning does not open the door for me. That, to me, is not food. But nobody can live on flipping protein shakes their whole life. And I don't want to do that. That's not how I want to live. And I'm not, none of us live just on protein shakes. I mean, everybody here, you guys, we eat food. We eat meals. We understand that. But I couldn't, there's no way I could have a protein shake for breakfast, a protein shake for lunch, and a protein shake for dinner. I mean, I would never want to eat that way every single day.
No one does.
No, nobody would. And even when you have to do it for weight loss surgery, it's misery, after the first,
And you're right, and that is a different circumstance. I mean, you're doing something to prepare for something, but then when you're done with it, you do start eating real foods eventually. But, these liquid diets, or a protein shake in the morning, a protein shake at night, and, a salad with a lean meat at night, there's no way I'm going to do that my whole life either. So I don't spend my time doing that. Now, I might try something like that if Daddy was getting ready to go to a high school reunion and I had to lose 5 pounds, but I got to lose more than 5.
But that's going back to yo-yo dieting.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Which
And
never
yeah,
works.
This topic, we could talk a long time about that. I'm sure we could,
Okay.
and more.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying we could talk a long time about that. I'm not going to do it right now, but maybe we should have a show where we have a food focus, and everybody's kind of tries to do some more brainstorming to try to uncover the similarities, differences, where we can learn. And I listen to everybody's videos that's been out for a while, and people that haven't had weight loss surgery like yourself, Rob. I think you have great advice. And everybody's got their own things that seem to work well for them, like the Michael changing it up. I do sometimes change it up, Michael. I sometimes have more carbs in a day than others, and certain days during the week I don't try to think about it, because thinking about carbs is not good. But when I do it, actually implement it, and I don't mean bad ones, I mean even like good ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I do it, I try to do it mindfully, but not mindfully, right? Not focusing on the carbs themselves, but just saying, okay, well, today is going to be a little higher carb day, or 3 days this week will be higher, 2 days low, 4 days lower, or the reverse. And I try to do that a little bit here and there too, and see if that helps me. And yeah, and in my circumstance too, I have sleep therapy now that I'm doing with my machine. That's helping me. I feel better, so I know that will help de-stress my body. I know I was under severe stress for 3 years straight during my first 3 years of weight loss surgery. Hopefully that will help me. And with my BHT therapy, that should help my body regulate its hormones. So we all have our challenges, and hopefully when things come together, they'll come together, and I'll eventually see my happy place.
You will.
Maybe, maybe not. I'll just be happy somewhere else, I guess, because I'm going to stay happy.
Michael, what final words do you have?
I just enjoy life and step out there and enjoy some dips every now and then.
Then?
Like Michael said, enjoy life. Make yourself happy. Don't make yourself miserable. Even if you have to change a recipe up, make yourself happy. Make it taste so that you will eat it. Don't choke on your food, and enjoy each step of the way, because it's just another step in life and on the journey. And who's to say that that day when you reach your goal is the happiest day?
Right.
It may not be. It may be a year from then, where you've changed even more, when you've grown more mentally. So,
Yep.
yeah, for a long time I thought my goal would be my happiest day, but now I'm not so sure.
I think what I would leave with everybody is agreeing with both of them. You got to live life well. We never know if we have tomorrow, so enjoy life today. Make smart choices that are going to continue to keep you healthy. And if you got 10 pounds to lose or 200 pounds to lose, take it day by day. Take it meal by meal. Don't beat yourself up. Hold yourself accountable. Learn from your mistakes. Use moderation whenever possible. And remember to stay dedicated to your journey. And remember that if you want to change your life, you do have to change your mind, because our mind has to be part of the reason why we were in the boat that we were in. Okay? So everybody have an amazing night. We will see you next week. Next week's show is going to be 4th of July barbecue. So we're going to be doing like barbecue themes. It's going to be one main and one side. So the chefs will be back. We should have a lot more full panel next week, you guys. We appreciate you coming and joining us for the show tonight. If you're watching it on rerun after it's posted to to Alicia's channel, we thank you for taking the time to watch it, bearing with us this last 25 minutes as we just talked about a topic that is near and dear to pretty much probably everybody in the weight loss community, because it's something we've all dealt with, whether we're just starting or whether we've been at our goal for a long time, whether we've got complete success or we're still working towards our goal. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in with us tonight. We'll see you every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you next week.